So today we are encountering a new era process called Breatharianism. So what is Breatharianism? Breatharianism is basically a stage where a person can live without food and water. It is not a black and white reality, but a person can definitely go without food and water for a very long, prolonged periods of time. So when a person is able to do that, so he is called a Breatharian. Breatharianism was prevalent in India as well very much in the ancient times, during the ancient times, but it lost its popularity due to the advent of Western medicines. Western medicines actually has made Breatharianism infamous because in Western medicine we see people measure food quality by the calorie and also by the amount of fiber, and food is also divided into lots and lots of parts like vitamins, minerals, proteins. We actually divide the food into minutest and minutest parts, but actually there is no such thing as vitamins, minerals and carbohydrates. Everything is actually prana, or everything is actually Q. So the body actually derives the same Q, which we call proteins and vitamins, even through air, water, sunlight, and just by walking barefoot on the sun-charged earth. So we can derive energy in many other forms. It's not just by food we can derive energy. We can also obtain this energy in many other ways, like by doing yoga, qigong, by reiki. And one famous, it's not famous because people are not still aware of this technique. One famous technique which used to exist in ancient China, through which a person can become a Breatharian, was called spring forest qigong, which was also called some other yoga in Indian tradition, but we have lost the track. Down the centuries we have lost the track. When we speak about Breatharianism, there are actually 5 levels in Breatharian state. One is stage 0, in which a person is not yet aware. Let us not include stage 0. Stage 1 is a state when a person is able to accept that Breatharianism is possible. The possibility of Breatharianism is being accepted, and the seed is actually sown in the client's subconscious mind, or the person is able to accept and move along with Breatharians. And stage 2 is the stage in which a person can live with juices for prolonged periods, and also can include solid food in the middle, in between. And stage 3 is the stage where a person can live without food and without juice as well for prolonged periods of time, or may choose to drink juices very few times in a week. Stage 4 is a stage where a person mainly lives on water, and stage 5 is a stage where a person's body, where all the 5 elements in the person's body is stabilized totally, and the yin and yang balance is also achieved in a perfect way. So stage 4 is the perfect. Stage 4 and 5 both are actually the perfect state of humanity. We are actually supposed to exist in stage 4 and 5, but our auric field and our emotional body, mental body basically is being corrupted. The energy field of our emotional and mental body is actually reduced to stage 0 because of the modern world and the corporate world and the polluted world which we have created around us, which we can call as concrete jungles. So as we all know that there are 5 elements in our body, that is air, which can also be called as metal, then water, ether we know, and ether and light. All the 5 elements are made up of the ultimate light, and wood, which corresponds to the liver, and fire. We all know this. So this 5 elements which the body is made up of, not only the body, everything in this planet which is made up of, is actually the ultimate thing is the light. Light constitutes everything. The 5 element also comes under the light. This 5 element actually help us to achieve the yin and yang balance in the body. the yin and yang balance of the body is actually balanced by these 5 elements. If any one of the 5 elements is not in a proper proportion or is out of balance, then it disrupts the yin and yang balance of the body also. So the air we breathe, the water we drink, the thoughts we think, that also the thoughts we think, and the amount of stress that we face each and every day in the form of mental pollution, thought pollution, pollution from the people, everything plays a very important role in the yin and yang balance. Why yin and yang balance is very important in a breatharian state is, breatharian state can be achieved when the yin and yang balance of every cell in the body is in a proper proportion. Nobody can achieve perfect balance as long as they are choosing to stay in certain conditions. We all know that we, in a regular environment, we face a lot of stress. So the yin and yang balance actually is not perfectly balanced unless a person knows to balance them by staying both in city and as well as somewhere connected to nature. So often we have to connect ourselves with nature, with the trees, with the plant, and stay in silence, staying in stillness. All these things actually balances the yin and yang qualities in each and every cell, in each and every organs, why in each and every molecules and atoms that is present in our body. So when the certain level of balance between the yin and yang elements of the body is achieved, then Breatharianism is possible in a much easier way without the person having to put in a lot of effort. So as I have stated, the factors which contribute to the disruption or which bring about the imbalance in this yin and yang state of the body. And there is also one more thing, meridians. We all know chakras and meridians, but there is a particular there's a particular technique in Qigong which is called as the spring forest Qigong, which is very closely associated with Breatharianism. We all know that we have meridians in our extremities, in the arms and as well as in the legs. We all have extremities. There are 8 kinds of vessels. These extremities are linked to 8 kinds of vessels in our body which are directly connected to our dantian. The spring forest Qigong, which is also called in many other names, which has gone into underground actually. This particular technique, along with many other sexual alchemy technique, has gone into undergrounds. The practice of Qigong itself was banned in China during the 1940s and 1950s. The acupuncture and the acupressure techniques, which actually originated in China, was actually banned during the middle of the last century, because people lost their hope due to the arrival of the Western medicine. Just like how in India we lost the popularity of Ayurveda and yoga, the same way the Chinese also faced a lot of turmoil. Especially the natural healing system of China actually faced a lot of turmoil. So this Qigong, acupuncture and acupressure actually was no longer in practice. It was banned for a couple of years. Then again a lot of researchers went on, and all these techniques came back slowly, and which are coming back slowly. Today they have gained a lot of momentum in China, we know that. As well as in India, we have yoga and Ayurveda gaining a lot of momentum. Nowadays it is very popular. It is considered as the most healthiest way of living. So these meridians which are present in our extremities are directly connected to the 8 vessels. The 8 vessels in our body are actually the most important energy antennas, we can call. So we can draw a lot of energy through our extremities to our body, which can actually feed our body, which can bring about yin and yang balance. And this yin and yang balance in turn helps us to achieve the balance of the 5 elements in our body. So once the 5 elements in our body is balanced, then we all know that it is very easy for us to become a Breatharian. So this is our natural state of becoming a breatharian, to achieve yin and yang balance in each and every cell of our body, molecules and atoms, which can be achieved through the balance and harmony of the 5 elements present in our body, and these two can be achieved by balancing our emotion, by getting connected to nature. That is which brings about the emotional and these are all can be grouped under emotional and mental aspect. The way how we choose to spend our day, each and every day, this actually balances, this actually takes care of the emotional and mental part. And physically we have to stimulate, we have to learn to stimulate, we have to learn to draw the energy from our surroundings through our extremities, which are our fingers in the palms and fingers on the toe, and by stimulating the 8 vessels, which are yin linking vessel, yang linking vessel, yin ankle vessel, yang ankle vessel, through going vessel, belt vessel, conception vessel, and governing vessel. So these are also called by other names. There are other names for these vessels, but once these vessels are stimulated and activated, then it becomes very easy to draw the energy and store in our lower dantian. And by storing lots and lots of energy in our lower dantian, which is also here in the near our belly button, 3 inches below our belly button. So by storing a lot, which is also called as the powerhouse of energy, we all know that. So which is 3 inches below our belly button. We don't know the alternative name in Indian tradition, but it is called as the dantian in Chinese tradition. So by storing lots and lots of energy in our dantian, we ourselves become balanced effortlessly. We choose to remain in balance even if our surroundings tries to push us out of balance or tries to make us feel out of balance. We actually come back to balanced state in a more quick way. So we have to learn to stimulate these vessels by doing certain exercises and by keeping our mental and emotional state in quality, I can say, in a quality. So breatharianism is possible. It can be achieved easily, as I have been a breatharian for the past 6 years, and with all these practices, and also of course with many other practices, and other easiest way to become a breatharian is to I can't say, because most of the time it may lead to failure for some, is to attend attending a breatharian workshop is one of the most important way, because we get a lot of information, we can gather a lot of information, and it depends upon the facilitator who facilitates the workshop. Most facilitators don't teach any practical techniques, but they teach a lot of ways in which we can balance our emotional, mental and spiritual bodies. That itself comes under the technique. But these techniques to stay in harmony with the nature and to absorb more and more energy from the nature can be learned through certain specific exercises, which can be taught in the workshop by some facilitators, including me. I do teach these techniques to harmonize and to draw more and more energy. Drawing more and more energy itself harmonizes. So it harmonizes, drawing more and more energy definitely harmonizes our body. We all know that the sun is in harmony all the time. As it has lots of energy within itself, it always radiates. It doesn't need to balance anything. We need not have to balance anything. Sun need not has to balance itself. Same way moon need not has to balance itself. These heavenly bodies are in balance all the time because they are full of energy. Only thing is that we have put the earth out of balance through our activities by creating global warming, deforestation. So the earth is out of a balance. That is because of the human activities mainly. Whereas the plants and animal life always tries to balance. Plants are the most important antennas, we can say. They can be called as the lungs of the earth. just like how we have the lungs. Plants can be called as the lungs of the earth. So destroying plants is definitely bad. So by being a breatharian, we also have a great advantage of conserving the resources of our environment, and thereby we can also put the earth in more and more balance. We all should realize that as we bring the earth more and more into balance, we also can naturally become balanced. Our yin and yang qualities in our body also comes into more and more balance, and the 5 elements in our body also comes into balance. So those who are interested in becoming a breatharian can definitely attend my workshop, and we all together can gain a lot of new insights. We can try to create a better planet around us. So I am Vicky Gold. So I have been a breatharian since 6 years. So definitely those who are interested, contact me, and definitely we all can create a better planet around us. Thank you.